Every day, more companies are announcing that they will no longer be requiring a college degree to get a job with them. More than half of the Americans that do have a college degree are now working in jobs that don't require one. And the stigma around not working a white-collar job has almost been reversed as skilled tradespeople have started to significantly out-earn their office-dwelling peers. The decision to commit to an expensive degree is one that less people are making every year, and this is either a really good thing or a really bad thing.
So that has led some companies to drop a long-standing requirement, a college degree.
More and more Americans are asking themselves, is a college degree still worth it?
Student of college is absolutely insane. He'll be a senior next year, and then we'll have to be dealing with that, and we've been looking at colleges.
It appears that some companies are now hiring applicants who don't have a degree. It's leaving many to wonder, is a degree really necessary?
A college degree used to all but guarantee an upper-middle-class lifestyle in America, and that's because they were extremely rare. According to data collected by the U.S. Census Bureau and compiled by Statista, only 7.7% of Americans aged over 25 had a college degree in 1960. In 2022, 37% of the population had one. This was almost a 500% increase in the number of college graduates that companies could pick from. Now, if you do have a college degree and think that you are still in the elite minority, well, let me knock you off that high horse. According to the National Bureau of Economic Research, fewer than 2/3 of Americans are part of the workforce, so a college degree is nothing special anymore. If you are a worker that wants bargaining power in their career, you really only have two options. Your first option is to pursue an additional degree that once again makes you a rare and valuable hire, but even that is getting harder now. As of 2019, 13.1% of Americans have a master's degree or higher qualifications. That means nearly twice as many people have a master's degree today than had any degree in 1960. Degrees became too common in the workplace, so people responded by getting even more degrees. According to the workplace analytics firm PayScale, the average salary for someone with a master's degree is $83,000 a year, which is about a $20,000 increase over the national average for a full-time employee. According to the Education Data Initiative, the average cost of a master's degree is almost $60,000. The degree should pay for itself over a long career, but the numbers alone don't tell the full story. If you have the skills and the motivation to get an advanced college degree, you are probably earning more than the average full-time American anyway, so the earnings gap is smaller than you might expect. If the thing you want most from a job is a high income and career stability, there are better options than diving into the arms race of qualifications. The collapsing relevance of a college degree is either going to be a really good thing or a really bad thing for your career. And since for some reason people think that we are too negative here at How Money Works, we are going to start with the good news first. College degrees are expensive, and most students are paying for their admission with loans that will take decades to pay off. Student loans also negatively affect other financial objectives like qualifying for a home loan or starting a business. The trade-off of a college degree is that eventually, senior white-collar jobs pay more than senior blue-collar jobs. But that doesn't really matter anymore. College has become so expensive that the financial head start from not attending is getting larger and larger. And with the flood of college graduates fighting for jobs, there is no guarantee that you will ever get into one of those senior white-collar positions that make it all worthwhile. If you get a trade instead, you can get paid for training and you can earn an above-average income as soon as you are qualified. Trade jobs also make it much easier for you to transition into being a business owner. If you work as a business analyst, you can't really start your own company, unless you have a contact network good enough to land you consistent consulting roles. If you work as a skilled tradesman, starting a business is still going to be hard, but you can do it reliably much earlier in your career. If working with your hands is not your thing, then jobs in sales have potential earnings caps much higher than even senior management jobs. Even if you simply want a normal salaried office job, the declining relevancy of a college degree could be a good thing for you. A report by the Harvard Business Review found that as university qualifications became more common, recruiters and employers increasingly demanded them regardless of whether they were actually required for a specific job. You'd probably want your doctor to have gone to medical school, but does it really matter if someone managing a marketing campaign has a Bachelor of Arts degree? The good news is that more companies are dropping the rigid requirements for a college degree because most skills are learnt on the job anyway. The same report from the Harvard Business Review found that in the age of technical disruption and unpredictable job evolution, most degrees didn't teach skills that were relevant to most people's work. The report also found that companies still requiring their workers to have a piece of paper as a prerequisite for landing a job were hurting themselves by artificially limiting their candidate pool, or paying a premium for work that could be done by anybody. This was a report published by a school famous for selling those pieces of paper. When they talk about the workplace benefits of overlooking a college degree, you can probably trust them. It's true. More than half of American workers with a college degree right now are not working in roles that require a degree, on paper. But for every person working a six-figure coding role at a forward-thinking tech startup that dropped the college degree requirement, there are hundreds of workers with a 4-year degree under their belts who are waiting tables because they couldn't find work anywhere else. Sure, they are both technically working in roles that don't require a degree, but the nice-sounding headlines are covering over something that could cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars over your career. So it's time to learn how money works to find out why the collapsing value of a college degree is great news for some people. This week's lesson is sponsored by Cook Unity. Here's the deal. Potential sponsors usually reach out to me, let me try a product, then I determine if I want to work with them. This time, I liked the product so much that I begged them to sponsor me, and here we are. Easy and effortless. Choose a subscription plan and select from hundreds of meals each week prepped by award-winning chefs. If you can't or don't have time, Cook Unity is happy to select meals for you based on your taste preferences. The meals are delivered fully cooked. All you have to do is heat them up. You can choose from 4 to 16 meals a week. Meal plans are flexible and commitment-free. Skip deliveries, pause, or cancel anytime. Enjoy restaurant-quality meals for a fraction of the price. Subscriptions start as low as $11 a meal. For example, when I wrote this, I ate the grilled flank steak bowl by Chef Ruben Garcia, and it was incredible. I genuinely feel like it's having a private chef, except many private chefs that you can pick each day of the week. Go to cookunity.com/money50 or click the link in the description and use my code MONEY50 to get 50% off your first order with Cook Unity meals to try them out for yourself. You are paid based on how much you make for your company and how hard you are to replace. If you don't make a lot of money for the company and anybody could do your job, then you aren't going to earn much money. But if you make the company a lot of money and you have skills and experience that nobody else in the world has, your earnings are almost uncapped. Desk managers at hedge funds and world-leading engineers at tech companies can make millions of dollars a year for exactly this reason. The trades have enjoyed high incomes because it has been extremely hard to find people to do the work. Blue-collar work has a reputation of being inferior to white-collar professional jobs, and young Americans also reported a fear that technical roles on factory floors could be automated. But that is starting to change. People are seeing how lucrative these roles are, and they are also witnessing that AI is replacing white-collar work much faster than blue-collar work. AI systems can now construct a 3-statement financial model and audit financial statements, but they can't tile a floor or install an HVAC system. There is still a shortage of skilled tradespeople, but if more people see the benefits of this kind of work and start doing it, then it will make them easier to replace and easier to pay less. Even in white-collar fields, the declining value of a college degree is going to cause 3 big problems for most people. The first problem is that even if companies claim they are dropping their hard requirements for a college degree, they are still going to pick the candidate who does have a college degree, in most cases over a similar candidate with no formal qualifications. A lot of companies have made big announcements about how they don't care about a college degree as a way to get some free publicity from news outlets about how forward-thinking they were. There was a marked increase in companies making announcements like this during the period where businesses were finding it hard to hire anybody. But these big announcements were not exactly what you would call honest. A study from the workforce research firm the Burning Glass Institute and the Harvard Business Review scraped data from online job postings from 2014 to 2023 and found a 400% increase in the number of roles from which employers removed degree requirements. However, the study also found that companies didn't really change anything behind the scenes, and not even 1 in 700 of the analyzed roles over 2022 was filled by a skills-based candidate over a college graduate. The real problem that the report alluded to was that if people without a college degree were being hired into roles based on their skills for a job that typically requires a college degree, how did they get these skills in the first place? And that's the second big problem that the declining relevance of a college degree causes. Colleges are not perfect, but they do display to a hiring manager a certain level of commitment and ability to pursue an objective that anybody has the opportunity to complete. They are far from a meritocracy, and the problems with college admissions need a whole separate video. But if recruiters and hiring managers stop focusing on education, they are going to substitute it for things like existing experience and connections. If you want to get a job based on your abilities, you are going to need to demonstrate those abilities, and companies are going to be happy recommending pathways like unpaid internships. Not everyone has the financial stability to work for free for up to 6 months at a time just to get experience for a job that may not hire them anyway. A report by LendingTree found that 47% of unpaid interns took on debt to make ends meet, and those who didn't either had to work a second job or rely on their family to support them while working without pay. The collapsing value of a college degree is really only increasing the value of nepotism. Demonstrating the ability to do a job is hard if you aren't given the opportunity to do that job, which is where family support, or in some cases just getting a job at a family company, puts some young workers even further ahead of their peers. Children of wealthy families have always had this career advantage, but ignoring college degrees kicks out the ladder from young people who don't have any other way of getting ahead. It's hard, but possible for anybody to work their way into a good college. It's not possible for everyone to get early career experience at their parents' company. A multi-decade study conducted by Stacey Dale and Alan Kruger found that the benefit of attending an elite college for the average student was effectively zero. Students with the intelligence, credentials, and family backgrounds to get into these institutions would have done well no matter what. The benefits of attending even Ivy League schools is just the result of selection bias. These schools don't make their students successful. They just keep enrollment selective to students who are already successful, or at least the children of parents who can practically guarantee their success. Legacy admissions and the cost to attend these schools means that families earning in the top 10% of incomes are overwhelmingly represented in the student populations. The one exception that the study found were underprivileged kids that could use their college degree as a leg up into roles that wouldn't have otherwise been available to them. To them, a degree of any kind would have made a big difference to how much they were likely to earn over their career. Which means if companies stopped caring about degrees, it would be the people who need it the most who will be pushed the furthest behind. The third problem is much more simple, and it's the reason why more companies have been so willing to hire people without a degree. It gives you less negotiating power. Companies don't reward employee experience anymore. Internal promotions are rare, layoffs are frequent, and pay raises are barely keeping up with inflation if you're lucky. More workers have figured out that the best way to get the most out of their career is to job hop and consistently look for better opportunities. If you are a morally onerous company manager, then hiring an employee without a degree for a role that typically requires one is a great way to ensure that they are going to find it more difficult to get a better job at a different company that has a degree as a prerequisite. A degree is still a really expensive investment into yourself. And if all you care about that investment doing is maximizing your income over your working career, then you need to think very carefully about minimizing how much you put into that investment and how it's going to pay off for itself. Especially since the shape of work is changing just as quickly as the value of a college degree. Go and watch my video on the full history of the modern job over on my other channel to find out why the 9-to-5 might just be a historical anomaly that won't be around for much longer anyway. If you want to get videos a day early and get articles that will never be made into YouTube videos, then subscribe to my email newsletter Compounded Daily to keep on learning how money works.